I hate this. So now I just have a greasy neck for no reason. Ooh, I have a necklace on. Maybe I shouldn't have a necklace on. Cruel. Cruel. Hey, I'm Jenny, my Mashable's tech reporter, and this is Beauty Hacked, where we're breaking down the science and tech that makes beauty innovation exciting. Today, we're talking about microcurrent devices. What is a microcurrent device, you ask? Fantastic question, because before doing the research and trials for this episode, I actually had no idea either. Microcurrent devices are at-home beauty gadgets that use low-level electrical currents to tone and lift dull or sagging skin by stimulating the muscles on your face. Sorry, but does the idea of electrifying your face freak anyone else out or just me? Apparently though, electrical current therapy has been used to stimulate muscles for centuries. One of the earliest cases was in 1748, when Swedish professor Jean Jalbert used electric shock sessions to alleviate paralysis in a locksmith's arm. In 1980, Dr. Thomas Wing introduced a FDA-approved microcurrent device that stimulated muscles in Bell's palsy and stroke patients with facial paralysis. And in 1990, microcurrent technology made its way into cosmetic procedures as a non-invasive, pain-free, anti-aging regimen used in both salons and at-home devices. That all sounds great, but I'm gonna need a little bit more info on how exactly electric those microcurrent electric shocks are before I put them on my face. So we talked to an expert to figure it out.
So microcurrent therapy, it's a low-level electrical current that really mimics the body's own electrical current. So it's a gentle current. It was initially designed to help with pain, and then the science evolved. And in the 1980s, I think Carol Cole, who was the founder of NuFace, was one of the first estheticians to really launch it into skincare.
I created NuFace because my clients were tired of looking tired.
And then it just sort of caught on from there. So really, the 80s was when it was first introduced. And now I would say almost every place you go is going to incorporate microcurrent into one of their facials. But when you go into an esthetician and have a professional treatment, you can really customize the wands. The handheld pieces are going to be different. And then what you use at home is going to be more general. So it's not going to be as specific or as detailed. So it helps increase the production of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is really the cell's current currency. And so it makes everything work better. You know, like things slow down as we age. So it kind of kicks that up. And then it also will help then increase the production of your protein synthesis. So your collagen, your elastin. So it helps with that as far as anti-aging, which I don't love that term. But then it also helps increase product penetration. And when you increase microcirculation in the skin, you're helping bring good stuff in and bad stuff out, and you're just increasing that turnover. So if you've got stagnation that's leading to breakouts, if you're someone who's younger, it can help just kickstart that whole process to flush some of that and get everything moving. Does it last? You need to do it again. You know, like you need to keep it up, just like any kind of workout. But you see a difference. Most people see a difference. What I find is that if someone's really dehydrated, you won't see as much of a difference because water, current, they play really well together. I hear people are a little worried about it. They're scared of it. Like they hear current, they're like, oh, it's going to hurt. It's not, it's relaxing. And I think anytime that we can take 5 minutes out of our day for that additional, self-care, and again, with all of us being on camera so much, I think it's a lovely way to just refresh the skin, and does help you look a little bit tighter, more toned. And I would say lean into it and don't be worried about it. It's a lovely treatment.
Even though I was mildly terrified at the thought of electric shocks on my face, I buckled up my boots and tried out some of the at-home microcurrent devices just for you. I've been using both of the devices here for a few days each at home, and I'm going to show you how they work live and in person today. We have the Zip GX series, which does come with a conductive serum bottle and the device itself at a whopping $495. We also have the Foreo Bear, which has just the device and a small serum sample for $245. Let's break them out and talk about the pros and cons, similarities and differences between each one, and see what they can do. So first up, the Zip GX series. Gorgeous. So like we mentioned, you get the Zip device, which is actually pretty small, and then this full-size Zip golden gel serum. It is the gel that you have to put on to be able to use the microcurrent device. So that's a little bit annoying in my opinion, because then it's not something you can like really casually do. Like if you're working from home and you're like, oh, let me just electric shock my face real quick. It's more of a mindful thing because you do have to put the serum on. But here's the device. It's really pretty. It's a nice like white and gold color scheme. It fits like in your hand pretty nicely, but I don't know. I think it's an interesting shape to maneuver on my cheek, but we'll see how it goes. And then this is the golden gel, like we mentioned. Heavy bottle, honestly. Feels like there's a lot in there. Directions say apply a liberal amount of gel over the entire facial area to be treated by your Zip device. And the device pairs with an app. So when you're in the app, there's like a ton of different treatments that you can choose from, and they range a lot in terms of how long they are. They can go anywhere from, it looks like 2 minutes to 14, 15. Jowls, the jawline pick-me-up for 3 minutes. I feel like that's a fun one, and I feel like maybe we could see immediate results. This is what my jawline looks like currently. So ideally after this, it'll be even more carved out. So like maybe the shadow won't be as apparent. It'll be a little bit more snatched. Who knows? We'll see. I'm gonna turn on the device by pressing this. It beeped and it vibrated to let me know that it was on. I'm gonna click Jowls on the app. And it does tell me how long it is and how intense it is. So it's a 3-minute routine and its intensity is a 3. Okay, then it said to apply the gel.
Pull up, right to that attachment and hold. We want to tone that attachment that's pulling this up.
Okay.
Wait for the vibration, do the same thing again.
Okay.
Pull
I moved before the vibration because
side of the mouth.
Oh.
Hold that attachment. We're really working this attachment right here. So it'll hold the area up.
it's not exactly comfortable. I really do feel like it's shocking me.
Double up here for the very end. We're gonna do the beginning 3 more times.
Again? Okay.
Okay, this is double intensity.
I hate this. Do I look any more snatched on this side?
3, all done. Jowls be gone.
Mine never beeps, but she said jowls be gone. Okay, also it told me to apply gel to my neck and then we just didn't do anything on the neck area, so now I just have a greasy neck for no reason. Anyways, that was honestly more intense than I anticipated, and I feel like this area of my face was so much more sensitive, and it really felt like I was getting shocked by literal electrical currents, which I guess is what I signed up for. But this is the after result. Does my jaw look any more defined? I feel like I was doing more of like my cheeks than my jawline. It's funny that they call it a facial workout because I did feel like flashback to my high school like athlete days. I was like fighting with my coach to be like, no, I don't want to do this, but she was pushing me to work harder. But this was just me shocking my face, so a lot less athletic. You feel something, that's for sure. But I powered through it, and apparently that's important, so. All right, next up, we're gonna try out the Foreo Bear, which is very cute that it's called a bear because it is quite literally shaped like a little teddy bear. So we're gonna open it up. I think it comes in a couple different colors too. Here it is. It's also rechargeable, so it does have a port here and it comes with an outlet as well, so is the Zip. We love rechargeable things because if I had to put a battery in here, that sounds like disaster. It's a different design from the Zip, but it's the exact same idea with the 2 nodes here that you have to keep on your face at all times. I'm curious how that would differ as well, but I like how this feels in my hand a little bit more than the Zip. I I just like how it feels in my hand, and it's made of like a silicone material, which feels a little bit less like messy to me. Personal preference, but I enjoy how this looks and feels. So this also has an app, the Foreo app. We're gonna fire that up. All right, and then it gives me 3 different treatments to choose from. There's only 3, which is, I think, the biggest difference between the Foreo and the Zip. The Zip just had like dozens and dozens of facial workouts to choose from, whereas every time I click on this, I kind of expect it to give me more. I thought it was maybe an algorithm thing, but there's only 3 to choose from, it looks like. There's the Total Facial Knockout, the Contour Cardio, and the Gentle V-Shape Yoga. And all of them are 2.1 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and 2.5 minutes. So they don't have the length as much as some of the Zip ones do. So I don't know, if you're looking for a longer facial workout, this is not really for you. But honestly, I was already struggling with a 3-minute one. So I think 2 to 2.5 minutes is gonna be great for me. Okay, fine, we'll do the Total Facial Knockout, just for you. My entire face, it's gonna be knocked out. So, okay, I'm gonna put on some serum all over my face. Hey, wash my face. Ew, it just feels so gross. All right, my face is prepped and ready. I'm gonna hit start treatment and see what it tells me to do. All right, I'm gonna start this treatment. Oh, that's the unique thing with the Foreo Bear, is I do get to choose my microcurrent intensity. I'm literally gonna bring it up 1 notch. I'm gonna bring it to a 5. It's on a scale of 1 to 10.
Slide the microcurrent spheres under the natural contour of the right cheek and upward toward your hairline.
Okay, this one doesn't feel like little needles. It's actually kind of relaxing. Oh,
Put those hands
oh,
up.
the vibration was different.
Top of your brow. Slide the
Oh,
microcurrent
oh.
spheres upward toward your hairline.
This I can, oh! Why can I feel the current like so much more when it's near my hairline? What is that about? Crowd is going wild, baby. I can feel it so much more when I'm at the edges of my face, and I don't know why.
We hope you enjoyed your facial workout. Feel free to apply any other skincare
I did
products
it.
to your cheek.
That one was so much more enjoyable because the intensity was just not nearly as much, and I could really only feel the electric currents like when I was near the edges of my face. Can't tell if I'm making the results up in my head or if they're actually there, but you tell me. Maybe there's a drastic difference and I'm just not seeing it. But I feel like there's a little bit of lift right here and perhaps a little bit in the jaw, but maybe that's just from staring at it for so long that I'm making it up once again. All right, now that we've seen what both of these microcurrent devices can do, let's talk about the overall experience. First up, the did it work scale. I think with both of these devices, the effect was very subtle. It is recommended for aging skin. I feel like you're gonna see the most immediate difference on someone who's slightly older than I am, but for someone who's my age, you're using it more of as a preventative measure, so it's a little bit harder to see those immediate results. I do feel like depending on which facial workout I did, I could see slight little bits of lift and contour and definition, but between these two, which one did it better? I feel like for my face and the like physical shape of these devices, the Foreo Bear tended to do it better, but the Zip does have more facial workout regimens in its app, and it felt like the intensity was a little bit stronger, but the Foreo Bear does let you actually adjust that intensity. So pros and cons to both, but from my personal experience, on the did it work scale, I think that the Foreo Bear did better, and overall, I'm gonna give microcurrent devices as a whole, I think a 3.5 out of 5. We're gonna go a little conservative just because I can't see immediate results, but there was something there, and I could see how it would be even more drastic on aging skin. Next up, on the simplicity scale, how easy was it to use each of these devices? I think that the Foreo Bear, the shape of it kind of just was more of a natural fit in my hand, and it was easier to grasp it in my fingers and move it around. The like kind of telephone shape of the Zip was a little bit weird for me to maneuver, but it was a little bit bigger. So I think if you have like more surface, more real estate on your face to work with, it could be more beneficial to use the zip. But again, for me, I think that the Foreo Bear was a little bit more simple, but overall, it's actually not that hard to use it. You're just following a video tutorial and moving something on your face, making sure that it's touching your face at all times. So, all of that to say, I think microcurrent devices on the simplicity scale are a 5 out of 5. Next up, on the cost effectiveness scale. Both of these are not exactly budget-friendly items, with the zip being even more so. Like we mentioned earlier in the episode, the Zip GX series costs $495. That does come with a full-size serum bottle, remember that, and the Foreo Bear costs $245. That does not come with the serum, but ideally, you should be able to use it with another serum, but it doesn't have to have those conductive ingredients. So if you want to purchase the Foreo serum specifically, you're gonna have to buy that as an additional cost as well. But as it stands, the Foreo Bear is almost half the price of the Zip. So I do think that the cost effectiveness is a little bit better on the Bear. I don't love to drop $500 at a time, but maybe if I really wanted to see drastic results, it would be worth it. But it is pricey, and I think that for someone like me, the results aren't super dramatic. So on the cost effectiveness scale, I will give both of these devices a 3 out of 5. And lastly, as we always love to do, the coolness factor. Both of these are quite literally super different from anything I have ever used in my skincare regimen. It is literally electric shocks on my face, and I was a little bit terrified to try them out, but once I got over that, I kind of felt cool. I even got some of my friends to try it out, and they thought I was really cool for having these and using it on them. So even though they're pricey and even though they're like a little bit crazy, I think all of that novelty makes it cooler and more of an experience to try out. So I think on the coolness factor, I will give the Zip and Foreo a 4 out of 5. For more tech, culture, entertainment, social good, and of course, beauty tech coverage, make sure you keep following along right here with us at Mashable.